Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I've been saying get ready for a weird week leading up to the full wolf moon eclipse and then the Pluto-Saturn conjunction. And we've definitely had Puerto Rico on our earthquake and volcano activity watch list. And within the last 12 hours, a 6.6 magnitude earthquake has struck Puerto Rico at a shallow level, and the island is now completely without power again. So our thoughts and prayers go out to not only Puerto Rico, but Australia, as both areas are dealing with extremely difficult times. Now, we are still on watch for earthquakes and volcanoes through the 15th, and technically through 2023, with the big Saturn and Jupiter conjunction coming up. And if you can see here, we have 421 earthquakes of 2.5 magnitude or more in the last week in Puerto Rico, and the whole island chain is volcanoes. So we are definitely keeping our eye out for this. The whole world is shaking right now. All right, now we're looking at all magnitude earthquakes, and I want to point out this over the last week, this active region, and this whole region seems to be really active. And then I want to point out all the strange earthquakes that are coming through here. And then you get the mass. So as I've been talking about, the American side of the Ring of Fire is going to heat up in 2019 and especially 2020. Well, it is shaking, ringing like a bell. So everybody say prayers, and it's a good time to unite as one American family and all the Americas. Because our government doesn't have a plan. We don't have an earthquake plan. We don't have a volcano plan. And technically no government in the world has a plan for the future of its people. We are looking at one sunspot on the sun as we are now into solar cycle 25. Looks like we're going to have a second sunspot facing us as the sun is starting to wake up. And we have a solar storm hitting the United States. Planet Earth. I just woke up. Did I say that? Okay, great. About the 9th. So that will increase the atmospheric instability. Then we've got this Yankee Clipper system, which is going to pack a punch with some snow and some rain as it moves out the coast and strafes the northeast up into Nova Scotia. And a major story everybody needs to pay attention to is the storm situation, pretty much starting on the 9th and probably lasting through January. Cranky Weather Guy, the greatest weatherman on the planet and the king of weather Twitter, has been talking about this for a month, and so I've been passing along that information to y'all, because it's what I do as your planetary defense commander. And the red means heavy, heavy rain, and the orange means heavier rain. And last night we had a model run which predicted that is 24, that is anywhere between 12 to 20 inches in the orange. And so we have heavy rain conditions coming from the Pac Northwest and West. And then we have heavy, heavy rain coming to like Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, Kentucky, Tennessee, parts of South and North Carolina. And so now we're checking out the model runs for the GFS. This is 06Z. We're now starting on the 7th. You notice that Yankee Clipper kind of intensifies as it moves off the coast. And then on the 10th, we get our major storm. And look at that. That is 18 to 24 hours of some punishing downpours. And then only a few days later, you get another storm. Then we were watching for, that is pretty major. And then we were watching for some possible sleet and snow conditions in Texas. And then I was trying to count the storms the other night. Like, what would we say? Okay, so that's one storm, 2 storms in the Pac Northwest, 3 coming up out of the Gulf, 4 back into the Pac Northwest. We can count that as a tail, or that would be 5. see, I don't know. I was having a hard time counting it. And then you get an atmospheric river that is going to blast the Pac Northwest, and then that moisture is going to resurface and cause problems across Colorado, the United States, the Dakotas. So it is going to be an extremely stormy January. Look at that. Let's go back, because I can't stress this enough. That big giant red spot, and this really seems like a spring pattern. But so look at this. So that would be heavy rain there, and these are 6-hour increments, and then that expands to there. So anywhere through this region, Kansas, Missouri, Indiana, Ohio, like that's going to cause major flooding problems. So that whole major rain situation is definitely going to be a danger to a lot of people. Now, this is the latest GFS. The model run is not finished, but that's okay. It gives us a shorter version to look at. And so that would be the 16th. So this storm will move out, I don't know, maybe on the 12th, 13th, and then 2 or 3 days later we get. So that's a major situation. And then your next storm, and what it is it's like a combination of the Pac Northwest water vapor and the Gulf of Mexico water vapor combining to create a super mega Voltron storm of not goodness. And then this has the potential over the purple and the pink to have a mega major icing factor. And then you can see we got another major storm after that. And on top of that, like I'm saying, this is like we're in the spring. On day 4, they have a major, in day 5, which would be the 11th and the 12th, they have a 30% chance of tornadic activity and straight line winds. And this was a big deal because it is rare that they put out a tornado warning 7 days in advance, which they did this time. So I'm telling you, not a fan of this Pluto-Saturn conjunction. And some people may be like, that's just astrology bullshit. But the last time Pluto conjunct Saturn was November 8th, 1982. And 2 days later, the very head of the Soviet Union, Leonid Brezhnev, died of a heart attack. And he was the general secretary of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union, which is like the head dude. And then Gorbachev, I believe, succeeded him, and the entire Soviet Union fell apart. So we are on watch for Pluto equals death, man. Hades. So we're on watch for not only the death of a major world leader, famous person, but possibly some type of large-scale mass casualty event. This is just me putting out a warning so people can do prayers, good thoughts, and just be ready for a really wild week because, you know, I've been trying to prepare us for the lead up from October 26th to the 15th. So we are almost to the peak of this shittiness. So be ready. We got about a week to go, and then hopefully things will get better and we can have a cool spring, even though it feels like spring's already here. You want some good news? Okay, I can do that. We have rain pouring down in Sydney, Australia, giving residents hope as the region grapples with horrible, devastating bushfires, which they're saying was caused by like 60 to 200 arsonists. Asterisk. Ian Livingston of Team Jet Weirding is giving us a look at the 500 millibar loop for the archives. A quick hitter tomorrow, but someone's going to get pasted. Look at that thing form as it goes out. So that is like New Jersey, Connecticut, New York, Vermont, Pennsylvania. I'm just calling out names in the Northeast, I think. Business owner says city won't let him put teddy bear on bench. I don't know why that just made me. I thought you might need to laugh. Let me put the teddy bear on the bench, man. The gorgeous Sarah K. Silverman. Holy shit, it's still Monday. No, ma'am. I don't mean to mansplain this to you, but it's Tuesday. That was unfair. She wrote that 11 hours ago. Chris Creepon is letting us know egg crepes are the delicious food the French made. I don't even know why. Last post of the night. I want to re-emphasize this 30% probability of severe weather by the SPC, currently on day 5. It'll be bumped by day 4, Friday in an hour. Yeah, dude, it's a big deal. We just had another magnitude 4.5 in Puerto Rico. We've got the DC snow wall, dry air activating. It's a shield. And Twin Cities letting snow. How does this winter compare to previous winters, in case you were wondering? And this is an incredibly mild winter. I'm calling it spring. If nobody minds, I'm sure somebody's going to mind. Somebody always minds. As you can see, yeah, and it's felt like spring in Texas the last 10 days probably. But some places in here, I guess, up near the Great Lakes, have had a pretty hardy winter, and the rest have had a really mild winter in comparison. Ashton El Tiri, for the third morning in a row, wind is the big weather story. A high wind warning continues for the foothills of Jefferson, Boulder, and Laramie counties through noon. Gusts of over 70 miles an hour. That's pretty damn blowy. And I hope the Four Corners are okay. And Palmer, if you guys are listening, you guys are cool. Remember, we got a full moon eclipse coming on the 10th, and then we got that Pluto-Saturn conjunction coming on the 12th, and then we got Jupiter and Saturn lining up near the end of the year. So it's going to be earthquakey and volcano-y. As I said, here has a magnitude 6.4 earthquake has knocked out power for all of Puerto Rico. So these are crazy days indeed, my friends. I am your Planetary Defense Commander. I do the very best I can to bring you guys information. But I know, I'll say it again for the millionth time. All those people who think that voting once every 2 years is going to solve all the problems we have, it's not. No government really has a plan in place for major earthquakes or volcanoes, and technically we don't even spend a lot of money, and nobody really even talks about it, except for me and some other people in the truth community. And then somehow, for some reason, we can't even get along. Crazy, I know. Anyway, I love you guys. Yeah, my fundraiser fell short, so if anybody wants to donate so I can stay cool and be happy, that would be great. But if not, I'll still continue to provide everyone the best information I can for free. This is what I do. I'm a real-life superhero. Okay, God bless everyone. Stay cool. Have a great day. Talk to you guys soon.